Well, yung X-rating, again, it was, the challenge was generally about language. Yung certain words that were used in the film now, yun yung medyo naka-shock, profanities daw. Naka-shock dun sa reviewers. It's generally that, although ang lumabas dun sa official na classification is because of theme. Although I said nga, yung theme kasi, I guess it's very broad, no? Kasi this is about an LGBTQ character. There have been so many films about LGBTQ character. Die Beautiful was rated R13, and it follows the same theme. So I guess the theme is kind of not a big issue. The issue is the profanities. And ironic nga, it is the female character that said most of those na na-bleed, no? Yun yung dahilan. At yun din yung mga kinailangan namin i-adjust to get the R18 classification. Meron, as I said, meron pero may clip. And hindi ko na sabihin ko ano, pero mahuhulaan nyo having seen the film.
Yung mga love songs wala namang
The kissing scenes, wala, honestly. And I'm actually thankful na hindi ko kinailangan defend yun. Yeah, yung kissing scene.
Anong reaction yung sinabi na X-rated?
Let me just clarify, hindi siya nakatanggap talaga ng X kasi when we left the building, R18 na hawak namin. Although technically, in-X nila kasi yung muntik na kami hindi ma-approve.
Then na-X siya. Na-X siya, and then sabi, kung hindi namin in-adjust yung mga gusto nyo na mangyari, hindi kami bibigyan ng papel. So right then and there, si Perci, nag-i-edit siya. Dala-dala niya yung laptop, nag-i-edit si direct ng mga eksena para i-adjust. Imagine, you discuss a movie, you make a movie that discusses isolation, identity, sexuality, and you get an X-ray. Diba? So anong klaseng, if you're talking about yung problema natin sa tema, anong klaseng tema ang kailangan, ang allowable para maging entertaining para sa audiences natin? Ibig sabihin na napaka-limited. Mabait kasi si Perci, ako masaya na naiinis ako.
Salamat. Thank you. Okay, we have 5 more questions left. No? So, ito muna. Tapos ito Garcia.
Hi, I'm Koji from Marine Science Institute. One thing that I noticed na other than tackling issues about LGBT and yung isang something to note then is yung it was brave enough to deal with the issue of abortion and also even yung sex education maganda na parang ang progressive na pagka-handle. So I'm just wondering like paano yung naging process ng writing and even how to handle that kind of issue. Maganda yung statement nung character ni Chai na sinabi na parang paano nalaman ni ganun babae? Yung parang ganun, may ganun siya line. I was wondering like dun sa writing process, were there a lot of input also and discussion with women just to be able to make it as feminist as it can be or something. So yun lang. Just a bit about the process.
Siguro hindi naman nagkataon pero I think gaya ng sabi ni June nung inorganize niya yung pool of writers, more or less I would like to think na isa sa mga pinagkatiwalaan niya ay kung paano kami mag-isip at kung anong tingin namin sa maraming mga issue tungkol sa mga buhay namin personally at saka sa mga iba't ibang issue na tumatalakay sa sexuality, sa katawan at sa pangipag-ugnayan. I guess doon pa lang kahit hindi namin pinag-uusapan na nagkakaintindihan kami no, kung ano ang mas ang pinag-uusapan namin paano ito ipapakita. Siguro mas doon kami nagkakaroon ng minsan ng challenges, etc. No? Paano ito ihahatid o paano ang dating nito.
Salamat. No, next question. So we have only a few left. No? Dr. Garcia, you speak up. Share your views.
Hello.
You also
Congratulations, June and Perci and everyone. What more fitting venue to show the Xed uncut version than UP, di ba? And I'm so happy to see members of the LGBT community in the university present also. I think that the question regarding the Virgin Mary sort of element in the film is very interesting because it's really for me what stands out. No? The first two films, this one and Die Beautiful, they are distinguished by the attitude of making light of something really heavy, like death, right? Death is a profound, sort of tragic thing, and the approach in the first film is to make light of it. And also here, death haunts the film, right? Except it's not really emphasized too much. There isn't so much of that, although of course the haunting of Trisha brings the idea of death in. But I think that the Virgin Mary element is that wonderful sort of newness in the film because it cues the reader to the approach that the film takes to talk about something real, and the approach is really surface, right? Not to dwell into it, but to just give you this surface sort of treatment. Polyamory is the issue being sort of discussed, and it's wonderful that it's being brought up. And how we see it in the film is that even the LGBTQs themselves reject it. Like all the others there are rejected, right? Only Trisha, who's dead, and so you can't really necessarily take her word for it, is the one who accepts it. No, even Barbs herself kicks against it. In the end, there's a conditional acceptance of it, but that's an open ending. So it's wonderful that polyamory is this progressive thing that even LGBTQs themselves are not comfortable with. It registers a truth about our community, and of course, if the LGBTQs reject it, then you can expect traditional conservative Filipino society rejects it even more. But the reality is that it happens. And we call it polyamory. It sounds newfangled and new and even sort of like social, but it happens. June, you were published in Ladlad, right? And you know that the first issue of Ladlad had a story called Par with a character called Sheila Locasta. And she is, in that story, the mistress of a siga-siga in Caloocan. So the context is, the class is actually lower class, no? And she's a beautician. And she has a boyfriend who has a wife. And it's accepted. No? She is the Sheila Locasta, the trans character, is actually accepted by the family of the man, it's well known. And so polyamory happens, right? So my concern is simple, is that the approach which is making light and just surface, and things are not really explained too much, there's no psychological depth, does not really understand it or seek to understand what it is and how people living in such a situation actually make sense of their reality. Which is so hard to do, I know, in cinema, but maybe it's another project I'm thinking of, which is really a more in-depth study into what we see a lot in Broca, these moral contradictions and paradoxes. Normally, we see them depicted as being the truth of poor people. No? Hindi natin na-emphasize yung class, pero ganun din ito. Tricycle driver, taxi driver, tapos nagtatrabaho may fantasy fairy tale element kasi siya eh. So, siguro yun lang ang aking tag sa aking sarili. This film was able to do what it needed to do, but did so at the sacrifice by sacrificing verisimilitude and realism. And my concern is that the question is actually real. Polyamory is actually real. And it happens, and it's the everyday reality of so many Filipinos. The treatment, in other words, has limited effects. No? And I think maybe if it's going to be a series, it can be elaborated on and there might be more discussion. Kasi wala masyadong inner life si Trisha eh. Kulang siya ng inner life. Kulang ng inner life sila lahat. Natatawa tayo kasi surface camp, no? Pero yung inner life kulang, no? And I think mas meron siya sa Die Beautiful, which is why I like it more. So I really like it more. And at the end of it, I'm thinking I remember it more, no? But this has its own charm, and that Mama Mary thing was really jarring. But I thought that is the cue on how to approach it, and I think it needed to be there. So in any case, it's a wonderful ensemble you have, and all the actors were amazing. Martin, you're beautiful. We kept thinking, is it Marianne or Christine Reyes? Marianne Rivera, Christine Reyes, a little bit of
Don
Alicia
Solueta.
Silverstone. I don't know if you still know her. Don
Don.
Solueta. I said, my God, it's like so many looks, right? It's amazing. And of course, all the other members of the cast did a wonderful job. So maybe I'm just asking for maybe another project. But this will have its effects. Because it's comedy, people will laugh, but they will also ask questions, right? What I opened up is actually maybe another project, no, that maybe others or you yourselves might consider in the future. Thank you so much. Oo nga, gawin natin.
Hindi I love you. Alam mo ba, naglalag
Thank
ako,
you so much.
naglalag ako dahil kay Nick.
Ay,